Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours a blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Sue. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look where the oil money going.
All right, hey, good night. Welcome to Straight Up. It's the second day of September. Wherever you are, good night. And you know we bring you solid information right here. Solid. Those of you who have already shared the link, thank you. You know we deal with quality, and that's what we do. We give you information, we break things down for you, and we know that at the end of the day, at the end of the night, at the end of the day, as we would say, you walk away with something logical, something sensible, and that's what we do right here on 107.1 FM. Now, there are times that bumps will raise. It's okay. Some people will get vexed. It's quite okay. Some people will stray away. Their emotions, they will get all worked up. But we believe in true democracy here, mind you. Some people bumps, they suck their teeth. They abuse out, they cuss out. It's okay. I've had that all for 20-something years. 20-something years. It doesn't bother me. As long as we deal with issues, and we are going to be dealing with the issues right now, right here on 107.1 FM, right now on 107.1 FM, 107.1 FM. So, hey, guess what? All right. Some people, they wait until you come on the air and then they start to message you to tell you all manner of things. But it's okay. I'm not going to cuss them, cuss out and cuss it. No. Dignified people, dignified bunch indeed. Good night again. Welcome to Straight Up. Let me see. Rhonda Lane, how are you doing? Look, we got to give Rhonda Lane her props, man. A good soldier. Not a zigzag soldier, a good soldier in this struggle. She understands the struggle. She knows what needs to be done, and she gets the job done. And those are individuals that we have to love, we have to appreciate, because they know they are on the good side, they're on the right side of the struggle. That is what they are. Forget about Collie Allen. Nobody has time with Collie Allen, DJ Shrimpy. He's right here. He's saying good night. What about, no, we don't have time with you, Collie Allen. He's a good guy, and good people we have to appreciate and we have to salute. DJ Shrimpy, how are you doing? Let me say hi to a couple of you, and I know they have some of them. They're not going to come to register to let me know that they're watching. They have serious affection. They're like, oh, we love Mark, but they run away to some other political party that wouldn't defend them, right? And so they're all jittery, so they're going to peep and they're going to complain that, oh, Mark blocked them and all sort of things. I know bumps raising, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to get into the today. Come downstairs now. Come. No, it's okay. Good night to all of you. Every single one of you. Like I said, we give information on these platforms. Information, quality information. And we appreciate all of you. Every single one of you. Anthony, all the way in Trinidad and Tobago, how are you doing? Winston, Grenada, how are you doing? And the folks out in Grenada, they have some radio stations out in Grenada. Good night to all of you. And I hope you guys got the information that you're looking for. So what's going on? Somebody, GT Golden said Flash Garden, leave Flash Garden alone. Flash Garden costs me out so much that Flash Garden and I are the best of friends today. Don't ever say anything bad about Flash Garden, because you and all of us will go up the road, as we say in Guyana. Now, we want to break things down for you, and that makes sense. We're not going to yell at you. We're not going to bark at you. We are just going to talk things that make sense. And we're going to break things down politically for you, because I know you guys want to understand what is happening right now in beautiful Guyana. Now, here's what's happening. And I was on earlier. I'm not going to stray from what I said earlier. I'm going to repeat that the PPP, now here's where Bum's going to start raising right away. Right away, Bum's going to raise the PPP. PPP rigged the elections. Don't worry, this thing but free and fair, and there was no problem, and all these. So the minute you start to do things manually, you continue with this manual thing, elections are going to be rigged. Elections are not going to be transparent. It's not going to be free and fair. And here is why. Now hear me out on this, please. Here is why. You already know that there's a problem. There's major problems at GCOM. If you have the three opposition commissioners who said publicly they said that they have no confidence that GCOM 1 is ready for elections. They said it. And they have no confidence in the same system. They work right there in GCOM. And if they could come out and say to you, say to the public, that they have no confidence and that they walked out, and all of these things they have done, walked out. And they're telling you, members of the public, that something is wrong. Something is fishy about that system. Who are some of you guys, and not you abusing, to say that it was free, it was fair, and some of y'all accepting the results, not me. But I can't do nothing. I can just talk, right? Because that's what I do. I'm a talk show host, mind you. I talk. But I talk sensible things. I don't bark at you and cuss up at you. And I find ways that we can talk. Some of you bumps may raise, but it's okay. But let me say this to you guys right now. The PPP ensure that they rig the elections. And the PPP doesn't have to start rigging the elections on elections day. A lot of you guys don't know. You think that elections are rigged on elections day. It starts months ahead. Years sometimes ahead. They sit and they plan and they know exactly how they are going to pull this thing off. What they are going to do. They know where they have to, as they say in Guyana, titivate with the numbers. They know where to do it, what to do, how to do. That's exactly what they do. And so this is not just an elections day thing. It is well sorted out, well planned as to how they are going to rig, where they are going to steal votes, how they are going to pat the voters list, how they're going to bring in folks and give them ID cards, whether those folks are in Guyana for 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, a day. That is what they do. You can't tell me all those Bangladeshis, right? Brenda Norton and Deborah Clark and all of you guys, those Bangladeshis, right, came to Guyana over a year ago. Where is the evidence? Show me the evidence that they've been in Guyana for over a year ago. But the law does facilitate, as long as you are a member, a citizen of the Commonwealth countries, you go to Guyana, you spend over a year in Guyana, you're entitled to a national ID card. And as long as you get that national ID card, you can vote. And that is where the list now becomes bloated, because the PPP ensured that thousands upon thousands of nationals who aren't qualified, in my opinion, to have ID cards, they were given ID cards. But that's not all. I want you to hear me out on this. They transported those individuals. Buses, busloads upon busloads of those individuals, so that they can go to voting booths, polling stations, and vote. And they were instructed. Do you think sorry about that, do you think that those Bangladeshis and those who were given ID cards from GCOM, do you think from the PPP that instructed GCOM to issue these, not just Bangladeshis, they're Indian nationals, they're Venezuelans, they're Brazilians? We saw it, the evidence was there that they were padding the voters list. They were padding the voters list in preparation to rig the elections. That is exactly what they were doing. That is what they were doing. And so elections day, when everybody thinking, oh yeah, they're done as they say. Somebody said, thank you, Lily. They're Chinese as well. They're padding the list. Look, I had a Chinese friend in Guyana. He was murdered on the back road. They call it the Black Chinese. Good guy, good human being. You know, may his soul continue to rest in peace. Good guy. And he came back one day and he said, Mr. Mark, look, I have Guyanese passport now. I have Guyanese passport. I go and Jack Dale, they give me Guyanese passport. But me don't like Jack Dale. And of course he didn't like Jack Dale. I believed him, trust me. And that is what they were doing. That is what they continue to do. To pad the list, thief, thief, thief. And so when you guys think that you're going into the polling stations to cast your votes, you put your ink and you're all excited. The PPP are masters of rigging the elections. They have rigged the 2020 elections. They attempted to rig the 2015 elections, but they were caught through the spreadsheets, and they were instructed by individuals to continue with the counting. Jack Dale can attest to that, right? Because they were called in for fitness, and they were told to continue with the counting because they had a separate spreadsheets. They had these separate SOPs and so forth, but they couldn't get away with that in 2015. They attempted that in 2011. They cheated the elections in 2006. They robbed the elections in 2001. They robbed the elections in 1997, so much so that it was vitiated. Guess who did that? Claudette Singh. Now, Bump's going to raise Indra Devi. Y'all say goodnight to her. She's on here. And she is basically, she vexed. She bumps done raised. And you're going to see some different things popping up right now, right? You're going to see different names. You're going to see all these different things popping up. We see somebody named some Ben something. Oh gosh, this one more people. The PPP trench crappers are out in their numbers tonight. And now I understand that I'll be I'll be on the attack from all across. They're going to come for me. They're going to cuss me out. They're going to do this, all manner of things, because they don't want to hear the truth. And we are here just to speak the truth. That's all. We're not here. We're not here for anything else. And the truth hurts. But we're going to break it down right now. We are going to break it down. Trench crappos on the loose, left, right, and center. That's why I have on this black tie tonight. Because guess what? Guess what? Guess what? The trench crappos are there in the audience. Don't let our people right here on 107 go after you guys in the comment section as well. You guys are going to get what you're looking for in the comment section. Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled, guys. Do not be fooled. And now we can battle back, If you want to go in the mud, we can go in the mud. You want to wrestle? We can do that. But look, according to Ecclesiastes 3:1, right? There's time and there's place for everything. But we're not going to be distracted. I promise you guys that. We are not going to be distracted. Now, we have somebody dealing with the trench crappos them in there, right? Right? We see the trench crappos. We know who they are. Now, let's get back in terms of the rigging. The rigging starts months away, sometimes years. They sit and they plan this rigging. So they know that if they pad the voters list, and they try to do it with some sort of sophistication, but they can't control themselves. So the padding of the voters list is basically done to steal votes and to make it appear that they have gained support in Region 10, Region 4, and these sort of things. So you're seeing the padded list. It's coming through now. The padded list is coming through. It's coming into reality because you guys are seeing it for yourselves. Some want to turn a blind eye and they think that, oh, this was changed today. The people went out there and they voted. Of course people voted. But a lot of people don't know what transpired behind the scenes. At Freedom House, these corrupt individuals, you think they mean anything well for you? They knew that they had to rig these elections because the people didn't like them. Even their own supporters didn't like them, don't want them back in office. So they cook this thing up so nicely, so neatly, and they package it like tamrambal and kanki and mahambog. I bet enough of y'all don't even know what mahambog means. They call it parsa too as well, right? Good. So now, hear this. Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. Because of the way that they packaged it, you will think that they won these elections free and fair. And so when you have the international observers, they come and they look around and they walk around. Some of them might be watching tonight's program. How are you? How are you doing? Right? And they look around in their fancy vehicles, they drive around, but they don't get to see. So when the Carter says that there's no evidence that the list is bloated, oh, come on, Carter Center. Come on, Jason Carter. Come on. I expected better than that from you, Jason. You can't expect to have a population of 750,000 people. How many of you know that Guyana's population has been? And look, I'm an old man now, right? I'm an old man. I'm not the kind of old man that boasts and brag about this and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not that kind of an old man, right? You know what I mean? So now, since a little boy growing up on the quarantine, Jason Carter, if you're watching, or some members of OAS, if you're watching, like Bruce Golding, that rascal. Now, let me say this to you guys. Since I was a little boy growing up on the quarantine, you go to school. I went to Wellington Park Primary. Sounds as though it's somewhere in Australia or somewhere, but on the quarantine. And Anlis Primary as well. And since I was a little boy, Keith Beresford, forget about it. We already know you're way, 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 way up there, 90-something. But since I was a little boy, Rajan Bim and others, guess what? Since I was a little boy, the population was Let me see if you guys pick up where I'm coming from. What was the population when you guys were growing up? You can put it in the comment section there. I'm going to read your comment. Let me see. How many of you guys know what was the population about 40 years ago? Oops, I'm old. Yeah. About 40 years ago, what was the population? Deborah Archer, how are you doing? What was the population? Denise Booker, how are you? Wayne Caesar is in the audience. How are you doing, Wayne? What was the population, let's say, 40 something years ago? Talk to me. Alim Khan, how are you doing? Talk. What was the population? Seven. No. Somebody said, Veronica, is it? Yeah. Says that Mullet Bin. I know Mullet. I've never heard the population to be 700,000. Don't give me that. Tracy Gill. I've never heard the population to be 784,000. John Levin, you could tell he's an old man. The population, you guys are in the 70s. Yeah. Raul Williams, Rhonda Lane, you could tell Rhonda Lane in my age too. Old, all we old people. 750,000. 750,000. Who is Ramona Rodney Park, man? 500. Ramona, come downstairs. 500? Somebody said 100,000? Come on. Shut up. Shut boy 7. Come on now, man. This is not a jokey program. Don't do that to us here, man. Don't insult us. We're gaffing, yes, but we're also trying to edify. Oh, man, we'll go with 100,000, man. I think it's Freedom House here, man. Oh, don't do that. So, over 40 years ago, Lachman Aziz correct. Over 40 years ago, Mark, welcome. Where he get 80,000? What kind of thing is this here, by Mark, Mr. Cool Man? Oh, man, you do with that. Don't tell me you went high flat, man. Don't do with that, Mark. Good night to Mr. Cool. Now, the population, as we get serious here, the population was 750,000 since I was a little water baby. The population was 750,000. I become an old man now. A big old man, right? A big old man. And the population, I get children. I get children and all manner of things. And you tell me 40 plus years later, the population is still 750,000 people? Jason Carter? Come downstairs, Jason. Come downstairs. 750,000 people, that population, it can grow. I get a picnic. It can grow by one. All of you there, you get children. You get grand picnic. It can grow by one. Right, Janet? O'Neill? Mary Figueroa? Oops. Did I say Figueroa? Oh, gosh. Right? Not even by one. Nikki? Not even by one. Joylyn, not even by one. Janice Toppin, not even by 750. But guess what? It didn't move, and how many died? How many migrated? Thousands upon thousands of people migrated. Scores of people died. Hundreds upon hundreds of people died 40 plus years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And oh gosh, those people's names are still, dead people's names are still on the voters list. We don't know how many dead persons voted this yesterday, but I'm almost certain that so many people, dead people, voted. And all of those dead people got out of the... and they voted for the PPP. Dead people voted. That is what's going on in Guyana. And that is why they can't convince me. These PPP cheaters, these riggers, they don't like when you call them riggers, you know. We know they like to call us the other name that rhymes with riggers, right? Those PPP, at least they can't convince me that they didn't rig the elections. They know that they rig the elections, they rig up the elections, they do all sorts of things. They cook up the books, and they did all sorts of things to it. And so that is why, you know, That is why they can proudly sit and say, like Figueroa, he put up some 5MYPD. What MYPD means? He said 5. I ain't gonna lie, sorry about that. We got blackout in Guyana, and I know some people because them in like was saying they're burning garlic, they're burning all kind of thing for me. They're trying all kind of thing. They're cussing me out. Y'all think it easy? Y'all think it easy? It ain't easy, right? And so let's go back to the comment. And thank you guys, thank you guys so much. It's not the Wi-Fi, is problems in corrupt Guyana under the corrupt PPP regime. So this is what they did. They ensured that they rigged the Shatta Boy. Shatta Boy, you can tell Shatta Boy new to this, created an account, come and wants to explain that people voting. How many of you feel that I should entertain Shatta Boy by letting him know how dead people could vote? All right, here we go. Here how dead people vote. Shatta Boy 7. Dead people vote because there are still lots of persons who have passed away, who are deceased, and their names are still on the voters list. GCOM is aware that hundreds of dead people, like Sweeter, hundreds of dead people, their names are still on the voters list. And so, as corrupt as the PPP is, they extract those voters, those dead people's names, and they have ID cards, and they walk in and they vote. They got people voting for dead people, and in some cases, the PPP is so talented that they could go and raise the dead. Edgel and these guys, when they dress up and they tie their belly, they go and raise the dead at Christianburg or at Le Repentier or wherever there's a cemetery. And they go and they speak their dead language and wake the dead up, couple of dead, because they get some dead people say not this time, because they're tricking those who are alive and they're tricking those who are dead. You know how many dead people the PPP rob? They promise them handout, they promise them all sorts of things. That if you vote for the PPP, they're gonna give it. You know how many dead people they rob? And so Shatta Boy, that is how they rigged. Look, 61 dead voters in the 2020 elections. 61 dead people got out of the coffins, got out of their graves, and they voted for the PPP regime. And the PPP asked them to take a selfie. And take that selfie to Freedom House. That is what they did in the 2020 elections. Lots and lots of rigging, rig. How you think Azruddin Mohammed and them understand the game? Because they saw what happened in 2020. They know the recipe. Come on downstairs, guys. Let me get the recipe. And that is why the PPP was so afraid, because of the recipe. It's like if you go in a restaurant and you people see how somebody doing a roti or a curry and things like that, you want to go and you want the recipe. So the international people know the recipe. Elections. Now, come closer. Let's talk now. As we speak, people bumps raising. Somebody said, what happened to this fool? Oh, I tell y'all, all sorts of names they're going to call me. They're going to cuss me. They're going to do all sorts of things. They're going to come up. They're going to bust to, buy 2 garlic, 2 eggs, all sorts of things they're going to do for me. Oh, Y'all pray for me, no man. How much cussing that could cost me? How much eggs and garlic they could bust and fry up garlic for me? There's how they just I don't know why. By speaking the truth. Now I just explained how dead people vote, right? I just explained that. I just explained that. I just explained that. Now let me talk about the rigging now. As you guys are watching this show, this is what the PPP is planning to do. They're planning a swearing ceremony either late tonight or early tomorrow. They are going to be doing that. If you know the PPP and how corrupt they are, they're not going to want to. In fact, if they could get the swearing in tonight, they would call and ask for it to be done tonight. They don't want to go over that. They don't want to go over tonight. They want to get it over with tonight because they feel that if they go into the morning, then there's a possibility that they could be a high court matter. But even if you go to the high court, guess who you got to go in front of? The acting chief justice that they deliberately put Navindra Singh there. Deliberately. So they're covering their bases, they're covering their areas, so that when they cover the areas, it is there to protect them. They pray for that to protect them. That is what it's about. And so there's nothing that's so free and fair about the elections. They rob the elections, they cheat the people. And then they want to come and tell you guys that it was free and fair. They knew how to manipulate the system. Trust me. Please. Why you think they could come to you guys now and say that they won by 36 seats or 35 seats? You think it's by accident? You think people just walk in the voting booth just like that and voted for the PPP and give the PPP 36 seats or 35 seats? And then they divided up the crumbs between, Win and between Apnu. That is what they do. But now look, hear me out. Like that Volga one Lino Craig. Hear me out on this here. The only time that Guyanese will have confidence in the electoral system is once you begin to see transparency, honesty, and a democratic system at GCOM. Once you have an elections commission chairman who doesn't speak to you, who is not transparent, who constantly vote against the opposition and always vote in favor of the PPP, something is fishy. Take a look at the composition of GCOM and you'll understand why I'm saying something is fishy. Don't worry about the declaration. They will prepare that declaration. They will do it. Right now, they have like about 3 or 2% remaining. They're going to hurry to get that information in. Why do you think that they had all these blackouts and GCOM website went down? Y'all think it went down for nothing? It went down, in my opinion, so that they could cook the book. Now look, they get Anand. Anand come on by. Anand said, come on, man. You could tell he lives in Queens, right? Here, Anand. Hey, Anand, good night. Here, Anand. Anand said, come on, man. But he said it with a raw country accent, mixed up with a little Yankee accent. Come on, man. Do the right thing and concede like a big man. Concede like what big man is, not me for concede. And it sounds as though he's saying concede. Not me for concede. Concede. Not me. It's y'all at Freedom House who's supposed to be doing that. But your folks, them at Freedom House, rig. They're rigging the elections. That is what has happened. Big money elections. Oh, Anand. Anand, don't do me the man. Oh. You pass me in me basement, you leave me in me basement. Me not tell you not in you basement. You stay in you basement, I be there in a basement, man. So take that to Freedom House and let them concede. Now come here and tell me about me must concede. But you go to Freedom House and tell them let them concede and let them concede. Concede. Right? Good night to all of you. My name is Mark Betchap. Welcome to Straight Up. Now, the elections, I know you guys are disappointed, and rightly so, with the outcome. Now, once they cook up this thing and they give themselves a real majority of 35, 36, they're going to say they got the mandate from the people. The mandate from the people. Let me address Annan one more time before you go in the trench. Hear what Annan saying now. Y'all hear me out on this. Hear what Annan saying. Annan saying, show the proof of the rigging you speak of. I must show you proof. It's right in front of your face, Annan. Right in front of your face. You want me show you the proof, Art? I can show you the proof. You ask the proof? I can show you the proof. There you go. What more proof you want? What more proof you want about the rigging? Look the riggers. Look the sit-down right there. Look the sit-down right there. After GCOM went on blackout for hours, they made sure that they cooked the books, they rigged the elections, and they're back. Look at them. That's the evidence. One more evidence you want, Annan? What more evidence you want? Come downstairs. Come downstairs. What more evidence you want? Tell them, but show the evidence and show that evidence. But Annan, good try though. Good try, Annan. Good try, Annan. Good try. Now, here's what's happening. They're cooking the books, right? And so they gave themselves, they don't want a one-seat majority, because they're not going to trust that one-seat majority, because they rather take a chance by giving themselves, guess what? By giving themselves about 5 or 6 seats. Remember, we spoke about that this morning, right? About 5 or 6 seats. 5 or 6 seats. So that they can be more comfortable with those 5 or 6 seats rather than getting 1 seat and stand a chance that a no confidence motion will be called against them. And all it takes is just buying out 1 or 2, But they feel that buying out 5 or 6 it's a tough task. Not impossible, but it's a tough task. And so when they rig the elections, they make sure that they rig it for about 5 or 6 seats. Remember, since this morning, we were telling you guys that is what they were planning on doing. Rig, and rig. Now, here is what happens. Here is what happens. Thank you, operator. Another one gone in the trench. Some Dennis P. distraction. Once you come here and you P, Dennis P. in the trench. Gone. Thank you so much. Now, let me say this. I want you guys to see. Now, they claim that they have a majority. That is what they are claiming. They claim that they have a majority. Nothing official as yet. But they already know that they have a majority because they know that they've cooked up, they cook up this bouquet. So till then I get shaved. So when they go in now to Parliament with 35 seats, 35 or 36 seats, guess what the opposition now becomes? Never mind there's a split. Not a 50-50. It looks like it's a 60-40 split in the opposition side. Now, because the opposition, there's not sufficient vote. The PPP is not, they're not going to give themselves a minority. They're not going to make themselves a minority government. So they're rigged sufficiently to have enough votes to go past that majority line. And that is what they did. But we're still waiting for GCOM to officially declare them. It's going to happen tonight. Even if it's midnight, it is going to happen. And even if the acting chancellor of the judiciary got to go down to State House to swear Irfan Ali in, they will do that. That is what it is about. They're not going to wait till tomorrow morning. Somebody explain that to Jason not Ben, Jason, what's his name? Carter. Somebody explain. They're not going to wait till morning. They're not going to wait till morning. Till morning come. They're going to want to do it tonight. And so they're right now on the phone with the people at GCOM. Hi, Vishnu, this thing done. Vishnu is the chief elections officer. Vishnu, this thing done. Vishnu, write the declaration, what you wait for? Write the declaration, send the declaration to the the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Claudette Singh, and she okay it. And once she okays it, they already have a letter prepared to be sent to the acting chancellor of the judiciary. So once Vishnu, they already got that letter. They already got that letter, to make the declaration. All of the polls and the statements, they already got that signed off, waiting now. Waiting. So as soon as they're ready, that information will walk over right into Claudette Singh's office. Claudette Singh signs off on it. The letter is already prepared. And once the letter is prepared, guess what's going to happen? It goes straight to the Chief Justice to inform the Chief Justice that the elections result have been final, and that they are going to say, because they rigged the elections, they are going to say that Irfan Ali has been declared the winner. That is what they are going to say. As long as the Chief Justice gets that letter, then the Chief Justice can any moment swear Irfan Ali in. And what they are going to do, once that is concluded tonight, because they're not going to want to take a chance till tomorrow morning, then they could one phone call to the acting chief chancellor to say to please head down at State House to swear Irfan Ali in for a second term. Trust me, they're not going to want to wait until tomorrow morning. So now it's 9:49. Don't be surprised if by midnight you hear that there is a swearing in ceremony at State House or at office of the president. That is what's going to happen. They will send some invitation out quickly to some foreign diplomats and so forth to attend it. They're going to take photographs, and then they're just going to declare what it is. So now let me thank Annan. Annan is saying here that I am guessing that Mr. Benchop was a good storyteller in his early days. He can talk a good gaff. I would nominate you for writing a fiction novel. Oh, come on. You know nothing but fiction novel? Have you watched that guy Jack Deer's so-called press conference on Thursdays? Well, then you should. You should, because that's where you'll find lots and lots of fiction, lots and lots of fake news and all these sort of things. So while I appreciate the admiration that you have for me, I would say, no. Don't give me no award. Go to Jack Deere and tell Jack Deere, come downstairs. You'll figure out what that means. And give him whatever you got to give him. Me, you want your award, Anon. You try to set me up, but not tonight. So now let me say. And that is how it's being done. So now they go into Parliament with 35 seats. 35 seats. Or 36 seats. They're going to claim that they won because the psychological game has been played. And so when they go into Parliament now with a majority, not a 1 seat, 2 seat, 3 seats, 4 seats, 5 and 6 seats, they're greedy, they're craven. That's what's going on. They're greedy and they're craven. That is what's happening. So now they go into Parliament, as they say in Guyana, comrades. They go into Parliament with 36 seats, which is more than, it's a majority, not a 1 seat. Well, how do you think the opposition What sort of opposition you think is there in Parliament? What the opposition can oppose? Whoever Suzette Taylor is, come back with his chupness butt. Or what? Who's that person, Lemon? And throw them in the trench. Earlier, it's stop with the assumptions. Come back again, stop with the assumptions. And stop with the assumptions. That's all they could say. Whoever Suzette Taylor, stop with the assumptions. What you want? What you want? But stop with the assumptions. Anyways, so the PPP gets, they claim, they take the thief 36, right? The thief 36. They give themselves 36 seats. You think any opposition member now, they could oppose all they want to oppose. The PPP care about nobody. They don't care about democracy. They're going to install a puppet as Speaker of the National Assembly. And watch out, they may want to put Says Gunraj. Y'all can't say they might want to put Says Gunraj there because they feel that Says Gunraj, a lawyer, he fought with them at GCOM and all these sort of things, and they may award him as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Can't say you didn't hear it from me here, right? Says Gunraj. Now, when they go into Parliament with the majority that they have, then the opposition becomes a lame duck opposition. We got to speak reality. We're not here just to gaff and make noise. We're telling you guys, and watch how they're going to play it out. So now, here is where now they're going to put the opposition now for fight amongst themselves. The opposition now they'll have to nominate a deputy speaker. And the deputy speakership will have to come from the opposition. Who you guys think in the opposition would be the deputy speaker? Look, just to annoy the hell out of the PPP, I would put Doggy, right? Put Doggy there as deputy speaker because they're making a mockery of Parliament. They're making a mockery of democracy. That is what they're doing. So you want to annoy the living hell out of them, put Doggy as the deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Put Doggy, right, Corwin Adams? Make a mockery of the PPP. Put Doggy, man. I nominate Doggy for Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Doggy may do better, far better than Manzoor and them. Doggy will bark at them all day. Put Doggy. But on a serious note, that is what's going to happen. The other thing now, you have to have a chief whip. And all these things that you have to have. And so the opposition now, they APNU and Win, they got to fight amongst themselves now. Meanwhile, the PPP is going to sit back with their majority and they're going to pass the bills. All of the bills they're going to pass. They don't need the opposition for nothing. Absolutely nothing. They don't need the opposition for nothing. They don't need the opposition for any bill to be passed. They don't need the opposition for the budget to be passed because all it takes is a majority to have these things passed. That's all it takes. And so the opposition side of the House would just be there opposing for opposing's sake because there is no democracy in Parliament, none whatsoever. Now, the only time that they will have some usage for the opposition is if they want to pass a law. Well, then you got to get 2/3 majority and so forth. And they're going to try to find some deal with someone or some set of folks in the opposition. I doubt that it's going to be APNU. It could be the blue guys, them, to strike a deal with them so that they can get a 2/3 majority to change the law because they can't change the law just like that. And so this is going to be an interesting makeup in Parliament. Alexei Ramotar is here with us. Good night, Alexei. Here, Alexei is saying he came here for tears and thanks for not disappointing. Of course, you're here for tears Because after all the tears, by the way, Alexei Ramatar, Privet Kagdila, right? Is it Privet Kagdila, right? You should be able to speak a little Russian, right? How is the fiber optic cable going, Alexei? How is the fiber? Because of you guys screwing that fiber optic cable situation there with hundreds of millions of dollars. By the way, Alexei Ramatar is former President Donald Ramatar, former minority president Donald Ramatar's son. We're glad that he's watching, Alexei. The last time we saw each other was that accident with Freddie Kissoon's nephew, right? And I think we met up at Kitty Police Station. Come downstairs, come downstairs. But you wouldn't snore like my friend. Come downstairs, though. And so Alexei is saying that he came for tears and he wasn't disappointed. But what is so disappointing, though, Alexei, is the fact that the fiber optic cable, of which you were the project manager, I believe, right? You were the project manager, and hundreds of millions of dollars wasted in that project. Remember, the cable was supposed to run somewhere from till in the interior, wherever, run it through, all the way through Linden-Soesdijk Highway, and you guys destroyed the highway. So when you check the highway, you see all those potholes and those damaged areas on there. It's ask Alexei Ramatar what happened. The fiber optic cable. Because you guys had cushy jobs at office of the president while your father was the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Cushy jobs. So when you talk about crying, hundreds of thousands of Guyanese were crying bitter tears because of hundreds of millions of dollars that wasted under your dad's minority presidency. It happened. The people of Gaisuko, the sugar workers, are crying. So don't come here, Alexei. We're glad that you're watching. And now don't cry more tears, right? Don't cry more tears. We could talk about the one laptop for family program. We can talk about all these things, Alexei. I know right now all of you guys are glued at Freedom House and at Pradoville 1 watching. Don't let me talk about Pradoville 1, how people's tears, y'all made people cry. Act civic about this. So Alexei, when you talk about you're here for tears and you're not disappointed, trust me, hundreds of thousands of Guyanese are disappointed. They were disappointed in your father's presidency. That is why he got minority government, because the Guyanese people didn't believe in the PPP. And so they gave you guys a minority. But thankfully, if a watchful eye at GCOM didn't spot the thieving, then the PPP would have been able to steal one extra seat, and your dad would have been a majority president. But because he was a minority president, guess what, Alexei? The tears were falling on the PPP. And so because he became a minority president, he was struggling. He couldn't pass bills because there was no majority there. They had to rely on the AFC then that went on their own. By the way, sorry for the AFC, but that's another story. But because your dad was a minority president, bills couldn't be passed. Nothing could have been done without the opposition's help. Nothing. And so your father cried bitter tears, and he had to prorogue Parliament. And that is why we ended up in elections in 2015. Oh, Alexei. Elect for Alexei Ramatar. But aren't we happy that they're watching us at Pradoville? Pradoville 1. That fancy, all those fancy houses there. As soon as people became minister and all kind of thing in the PPP, they rush and they get their own housing area. And they bulldoze the people right opposite. That is where Civic, what's his name? He's in the audience there with us. Civic, Neville Seatal used to live. Bulldozed the people's homes. Destroyed the people's lives. But yet, You come in here to say that you came and you got tears? The people's tears, Panayo. That the kind of tears you got to talk about, by. Freddie Kissoon nephew gets struck down. Foot broken. Tears, by. But now I capture Freddie. I get Freddie. Because Freddie is a hustler now, right? I get Freddie. But y'all can't capture anybody else. Y'all could capture Freddie. But enough of Alexa. Alexa, I'll be glad that you're watching. Hope that we're going to see a photograph of you going to the swearing in, right? Y'all have a secret swearing in tonight? Is it going to be secret? Are y'all going to let the public know that the declaration is in the process of being made, and then y'all probably rush down to State House and y'all do y'all thing, and then y'all come and say 5 more year pandemic, right? 5 more year misery on the nation. That's what it's about. So come downstairs, Alexa. So that's what they do. They come, they peep, and they're gone. They come, they peep, and they're gone. They come, they peep, and they're gone. Well, you know, somebody else just gone in the trench, right? Trench crapper gone in the trench. And then gone in the trench. When you see these guys coming out now in the numbers, they're nervous. They know any one of them. If Alexei wants to come, Alexei is not going to get blocked. But if Alexei wants to come, Ramotar, who is Donald Ramotar's son, if he wants to come on this show right now to dispute anything that I have said, he is welcome. Come downstairs, Alexei. Come downstairs. I won't put you to snore. Come downstairs. He wouldn't come. Right? He wouldn't come. Now, let me address Sonny now, because they're coming out in the numbers. Look, Sonny stand up next. He stand up like there's a horse, a minibus horse. He dressed up like he's an undertaker. Sonny Mahathir is saying, here what Sonny Mahathir is saying. Mingo and Lowenfield missing in the election like 2020. So are those SOPs for the PPP in 2020. The PPP now want to show the SOPs for 2020 because they know that they rigged the elections. So Sonny Mahathir, let me ask you this. Come downstairs, old boy. Come downstairs. Now, if Lowenfield, if they did something wrong, let me ask you this. Mokatak so you could understand, man. Because you don't understand English language. If Lowenfield, Roxanne Myers, and Mingo, if they did anything wrong and y'all had the evidence for them, you tell me that y'all couldn't, 5 years, y'all couldn't present the evidence? Y'all talk about SOPs, y'all have the SOPs, but yet y'all still talking about the SOPs. Y'all talking about the elections petition. Y'all blocked the elections petition. And every time they go to court on this elections, Mingo and Lowenfield and Roxanne Myers case, guess what? Y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all ain't coming up with no evidence. Not evidence. Evidence, Sonny. So, Sonny, come downstairs, boy. Come downstairs. Take a walk at the cathedral there, man. Do something there before you go for Irfan Ali's secret swearing in. Just do something. Now, welcome back to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benshaw. What's happening in your neck of the woods? Now, let's get back to Parliament. Whatever the PPP wants, now that they have stolen the elections again, they're gone, and everything they want passed in Parliament, it go get passed. It go get passed. So really, there is no democracy. There is no democracy. Democracy is upside down. And by the way, you might get Irfan Ali, whose real name is Mohammed, and then you might get Azruddin, another Mohammed. So you get Mohammed there and Mohammed there. Mohammed as the so-called president, and you get Mohammed as the opposition leader. So you get two Mohammeds. One of them is not afraid or ashamed to say that he's Azruddin Mohammed, and the other one is ashamed for people to know that his first name is Mohammed. And so when he goes to the United Nations, he leaves out Mohammed. You don't want people to know that he is Mohammed. Why Irfan Ali is afraid to let people know that he is Mohammed? Why? Is he afraid of his first name, Muhammad? Come on, Muhammad. His name is Muhammad Irfan Ali. And if he goes at the United Nations, because you see, they said they win the elections. We see yet nothing in official as yet. Why isn't he being introduced as Muhammad? Muhammad. He is Muhammad Irfan Ali. But he gives people this impression that he's just Muhammad. He's just Irfan. Irfan. Irfan Ali. His name is Muhammad Irfan Ali. Oh, Father. He and I, like, we got to tell he come downstairs too. But he might rush downstairs quick. All right, again, good night. It's 7 minutes after 10 o'clock. My name is Mark Benshop. Let me see, what are we hearing here? So we're hearing that Region 8, there's some rigging. There's some rigging. There's a fight in Region 8 between the blue folks them and the red folks. There's a fight there because 1 minute PPPC said Win said they won, and then now PPP said they won. Win said they won, PPP said they won, right? Rigging. So who can the PPP fool about rigged elections? So when the likes of Alexei Ramotar, the fiber optic cable guy, right? A lot of you guys don't know that story, you know. Hundreds of millions of dollars wasted because Jack Dare was invested taxpayers' money for the fiber optic cable, and Alexei Ramotar was the project manager. Actually, you know how much he was being paid? Millions of dollars per month. Millions of dollars per month. Whilst Guyanese were crying, starving. And that is what they do. They give out these good jobs, these cushy jobs to friends, favorites, and family. That's what it is. That is what it is. So what else is happening that we can talk about quickly before we go? What else we can talk about? Now, when that one that is in bondage, that one that operated a cow pen at Melanie, that cow pen, and that building is a big issue. The people need to get back their building. That's a co-op. That's another story we'll deal with. But the guy that owned that cow pen, Bond, right? Remember, these guys are not bright. They telegraphed their shots. They said that they're going to win Region 4. In 2025, the coalition got over 60,000 votes in Region 4. Over 60,000. Over 60,000 votes. That is what they got. 60,000 votes. 60,000, I repeat, 60,000 votes for Region 4. The PPP got 40-something thousand. They lost by almost 20,000. You're telling me from 2020 to now that the PPP is going to beat the PNC or APNU in less than 5 years? Something isn't right. Obviously, rigging upon rigging upon rigging. Rigging upon rigging upon rigging. I can put my last dollar, where's my dollar, on the block that the PPP rigged Region 4, rigged with the numbers. Why do you think dummies like James Bond coming out and saying that they're going to win Region 4? Just like that? He probably was in some room and he overheard the conversation and then he started to put that out there. Right? Start to put that out there. Hamid Kadir, oh gosh, watching. Assalamu alaikum, Kadir. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, right? And so he's saying that the same dunce people win the elections. Win what elections? Rob the elections. You don't have to go to school to rob, to thief. You don't have to find out that somebody went to IFLAT and they're thieving. You don't have to do that. So Hamid Kadir, lots of trench crappers tonight, man. What's going on? Where Hamid Kadir come from? Like these people taking turns, man. Is either you ain't getting cuss out? They're coming right here now. Look at what kind of thing is this? Somebody pray for me in the audience there, man. We're a pastor and our apostles and every. Somebody pray for me. Yanat Elias, look what's going on. Hamid Kadir, if it's not Hamid, is Anand. If it's not Anand, is Indra. If it's not Indra, is Ramutar's son. If it's not, is what's going on, man? Well, like when I come off here, I go and somebody somebody send me a blue soap or something like that, man, because I get cussed up. If I ain't getting cussed up, all manner of things. Sometimes I wonder what makes me so strong that I'm able to sit here and smile with you guys. Angela Ben, how are you doing? Jack Deere send them here, but as Jack Deere send them, where Hamid? Here Hamid. Hamid said, Mark, the same dunce. People win the elections. I don't know if I laugh or if I cry at Hamid, but we gonna leave Hamid for now, right? Lemon, leave Hamid for now. And we're getting word. How many of you guys know where Maida there? Maida. How many of you guys know where Maida, where Maida is? What part of Guyana? Maida there. Let me see if you guys know Guyana. Jason Carter, if you're watching, I'm sure you don't know where Maida is, right? Let me leave Jason alone. Jason means well, but he's in Guyana, and these people just pull a fast one on the Carter Center. My opinion, Jason. Now, where in Guyana is Maida? Where in Guyana is Maida? Karen Dublin said that persons of African descent in Guyana forget about all their hurt, and they voted for PPP and win. Why you think I get on this black tie? We got to pray for Guyana. Guyana, I don't know. In my lifetime, I want to see the best for Guyana. I'm an old man now. I hope before I close my eyes, enough people out there want me close. If I could close my eyes tonight, they will celebrate. Trust me, they will celebrate. But it's okay. It's okay. They could hate me and cost me how much they want. It is okay. Right? Now, somebody said Blackbush, Maida the Blackbush. Somebody said Maida the quarantine on the career. Good. So Maida is not far from Alnis. You get Alnis, you get Big Alnis, you get Oxile, you get Adventure, Limlear, Norney, Kildonan Farm, you get Bushlat, then you get Farm, then you get Maida. And after Maida, it's pronounced Maida. After Maida, they get Kilmarnock. After Kilmarnock, they get Philippi. After Philippi, they get Cromarty. So Maida. You got to say it with meaning, man. Say it like you're from Bangladesh. Let me not talk about Bangladesh because them Bangladeshi, hundreds of them went and they voted by solid PPP. They had to go and vote PPP. They were instructed to vote PPP. You think any of them going to vote for Aubrey Norton and Apno? Be honest. They solidly voted for PPP because they were instructed. Now, I heard that they get big celebration. They're celebrating at Maida PPP victory. Celebrating. They're celebrating. And so that is what the PPP is going to do. They know they rigged the elections. Yes, they did. And so, as we prepare to wrap up tonight's program, they are going to win, Caesar. My brother, find out what's going on. They are going to prepare. They probably already picked the phone up, call the acting chancellor of the judiciary to ask her to say that a declaration has been declared and blah, blah, blah. And so once a declaration has been declared, I repeat, they're not going to wait till tomorrow morning. They're going to do this thing tonight. And when they're done, all of them going around by the cathedral. All of them going around by the cathedral. Every one of them. That is where they will go to celebrate. And as they go to celebrate, understand what Guyana will be like for the next 5 years. It is going to be hell. Because none of the billions of dollars of oil, money, and wealth and resources will go to you, the ordinary people. It will continue to go into the pockets of their friends and their favorites. Massive corruption, contracts, and all these things. And so when you have the likes of a Jermaine Figueroa is saying 5MYPD. What does that mean, you guys? 5MYPD. What does that mean? 5MYPD. 5MYPD. Let me see before we go. What does that mean? 5MYPD. 5MYPD. I know Liata, lots and lots of trenches tonight. Warrior GT by Warrior GT said, Mark, you are an idiot. Thank you so much. Imagine it takes an idiot to recognize that how much of an idiot you are, right? But that's okay. You call me all the names y'all want to call me. Y'all could cost me how much y'all want to cost me. I getting cost, I getting from all sides. It's like, oops, Star Major, help me no, man. Help me no, Star Major. Star Major said, well, let me see what Star Major is saying. A good DJ. Mark is up the people if the people want to accept. Fair enough, my brother. Fair enough. But Guyanese already. So Harold Moore said 5 more years for them, right? So Jermaine Figueroa said 5MYPD. 5 more years pig distribution. 5 more years of pig distribution. That is my interpretation of that. 5 more years of pig distribution. Not 5 more years for them. You know that song? Happy birthday. Well, oh gosh, my birthday is coming up, guys. I'm not sure I'm going to be on for my birthday. I will, but I probably will be singing 5 more years. 5 more years of pig development, Figueroa. 5 more years of pig distribution. But 5 more years, 1 more year upon them. Happy birthday, my friend. Whatever. You guys know. I love you all, man. Thank you for the curse. Thank you for the insults. Thank you. It makes me stronger because it makes me, I know that we speak the truth. That is what we speak here. We edify you. We don't want you guys to run away with ideas and have grand expectations. And then when it falls flat on your faces, then you realize what has happened to you, right? And then at some point in time, y'all going to say, Ben Sharp was right, or Wayne Caesar was right, and others who are trying to edify you. Edify you. We're not making noise. Edifying. Edification. That is what we do here. We don't work up a sweat and make noise and cuss up and these. We don't do that. Simone, how are you doing? Sorry, I'm looking at you guys like that. I've got to go. But watch out. You've got to pray for Guyana. It is still in the hands of the devils. And they have done everything, every single thing to rig the process. And rig. They rig it. They do all sorts of things to it. Poor Guyanese people. One day, they will live to regret. Those who have embraced and supported the oppressors. They will wake up very, very soon to realize mistakes that they made. But we will continue to stay on the side of truth. And speaking the truth. Not yapping. We give you facts. We give you evidence. That is what we do here. 107.1 FM. And if people bumps raise in the process, It's okay. It means that we're doing our job. I love you guys. Pray for Guyana and continue to watch. They feel they've gotten everything in control now. So as they rig the elections, they will continue to destroy Guyana. The question is, where does the opposition go from here? We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm out of here. God bless you all. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for the prayers. And thank you all for the cuss out. Thank you all for the views out in the audience as well. God bless.
I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. Can't take it no more. Imagine 18 hours of blackout and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%. Get your give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fear with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up. You done fed up. He done fed up. She done fed up. We done fed up. The people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barretons too, cause I done fed up.